Do you guys like my cup? This actually isn't my cup. This is Matthew's cup. I got it for him for Christmas because we were very obsessed with Game of Thrones at the time. Isn't that cool? That's me. Hello everyone, welcome back. My voice is disgusting. I have a cold and I'm getting over it. But I still want to film a video because you guys are my friends. Also, I feel very accomplished because I got all my chores done for the day, for the weekend. And Matthew's watching the baby and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna film a video. I'm gonna be filming my makeup routine with cream products, and this is oily, skin friendly. I know. I never thought I would be a cream product girl, but like this new mama life, I think I've said it in every video, I just don't have time for all the steps anymore. My voice sounds so horrendous, I can't even take myself seriously. Now that I've reached my, let's say, creeping up to nearing the mid-30s soon, creams are just so much more flattering. And I still love powder, don't get me wrong, but this is just where I'm at these days, and also it's summer in Houston is not cute. That's the tea on that. We're gonna start with skincare. I already have my skincare on, but we never talk about it for some reason, and skincare is like the base to good makeup. So I'm gonna share with you guys what I used, and I always use this hyaluronic acid. It's from Good Molecules. It's my favorite. It's $6. You literally can't beat the price. And ever since I started using hyaluronic acid, I feel like I just can't live my life without it. So I went in with that, and then I like to do hyaluronic acid then eye cream to give the serum a second to soak in before going with moisturizer. So I went in with the Inkey list. This is the Caffeine eye cream. This is also super affordable. I think it's like under $10. It's really good, and it makes your eyes feel like more awake if you are suffering from sleepless nights. That's me. That stuff's awesome. And then on top of that, I went in with Kiehls. This is the Ultra Facial Cream. I was using this when I was pregnant because my skin was really dry, and it went back to being oily, but I'm still using it because I want to finish it off. So I fell off primers for a while. I don't know why, because I kind of felt like, am I just too into primers? Like, are primers really overrated? But when I started using them again, I realized that I was wrong, and primers just, they are just it, okay? So I'm still obsessed with my Wet n Wild primer, but this one I actually let it expire. Pretty sure I've had this for like 2 years. I think it's time to let it go. Since I don't have that, I'm gonna go in with my Cover FX primer. This is the blurring primer, and I'm trying to finish this off. It's almost out, but it just won't run out, you know? So let's hit this in the T-zone. I only take this around this area. I would still go in with primer in my T-zone if I was gonna be wearing my makeup for a really long time, but I kind of stopped doing it around like double priming the way I used to, but now I'm back on it. So that whole sentence was irrelevant. But I always put this just in my T-zone. I love this primer. It's expensive, but it's really good. But if you don't want to spend the money on it, the Wet n Wild one, I think it's just as good. And I kind of like to push it in. I hate mattifying primers. Even though I'm oily, they're just too much for me. Like, I just feel icky. Okay, I'm just not a fan. All right, so for today, for the rest of my face, I'm gonna go in with the Illuminating Cover FX primer just because it's in front of me. And I do like this. It makes the makeup go on super slidey. Does that make sense? And then I'll do a little just up here because since I am using cream, I want a primer, especially since I'm an oily gal, you know? I still have this gripping primer from Cover FX, and I still have the Milk one, the gripping primer. I don't think I really like the Milk gripping primer. I'm pretty sure I gave it away because I didn't like it. But I also feel like I'm the only one who didn't like it. Leave a comment down below if you also didn't like it. I felt like it was just too overhyped. We're gonna start with foundation, and I'm using the Nars. This is the Light Reflecting Foundation. I am obsessed with this foundation. I suggest you shake it. I just feel like it comes together better when it's shaken. That could just be me. Maybe it's not me. Oh, on the back it says shake well. I never noticed that until today. I don't like a heavy, cakey face, so this is one pump. I'm gonna take this and spread it around because I like to really sheer out my foundation. Now, I feel like I have pretty decent skin, and I don't really That was rude. Thank you for squirting everywhere but on my finger.
That's what she said.
I don't feel like I need to cover it up. Like, I don't want to cover it up. I just want to kind of even out my skin tone. So I did 2 pumps. These pumps are not super heavy. They're like just little tiny pumps. So I literally got foundation everywhere. We'll go in with the sponge and blend it out. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I'm in the shade Fiji. It says L.5 or L5. I can't see that tiny ass print. My trick for doing stuff like this on oily skin is not to put too much product in your T-zone. So like for me, the rest of my skin is normal, but my T-zone is super oily. Like that's where it gets the worst. It's always my nose, it's always around here, and here is where I just turn into Grease City. So I tap in the foundation everywhere. Like I do my cheeks, I do my chin, I take it down my neck because I wanna look like I match the rest of my body. And when I'm done with all that is when I'll go in and just whatever is left, I'm gonna put on my T-zone. So I really don't have that much product. It's just like the residual product. Does that make sense? And I'll go in there, just do like a little, If I didn't have so many blackheads on my nose that I can't get rid of, like for nothing to save my life, I probably wouldn't even put product on there, but you can just see them and that drives me insane. So I just do a little bit, but just that little bit is just enough. For concealer, I'm gonna go in with my 2 favorites that I've been using forever. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and I use Medium Peach. I use this just in the center because this kind of corrects. As you can see, I have just the most disgusting dark circles around my eyes. So this is just gonna correct, and I just use this in the inner corner. I'm almost out of this. I need a new, oh wow, I'm actually like scraping the sides. I didn't realize that I was that close to being out of this. I do Shape Tape because I need that like creaseless concealer that's not gonna move. This is Light Sand, and this is my highlighting one, and I put that just right there. Depending on if I just wanna look a little more natural that day, or if I'm doing eyeshadow or something, I'll either take it on the lid or not take it on the lid. Because when I'm just going for like that effortless, like, oh, I just have a little something on, I'm just naturally cute, I kind of like that the dark circles show a little. You know, it just looks very like human. Like I'm a regular girl. I think I want to do eyeshadow today, and I might very well change my mind, but I'm just gonna go ahead and take this around the top because I'm gonna use this as my eyeshadow base. I might just take like a little around the nose because I get red around here, but that's pretty much it. Okay, now I'm gonna use a little bit of powder just because I have to, or my concealer is just gonna be super creasy. It's not gonna be cute. So I'm gonna go in with this. This is the MAC, what is this called? Studio Fix Sculpt. Did I forget how to read? Sculpt and Shaped Contour Palette. And I do the 3 on top, which are called Emphasize, Cream, and Accentuate. So I just like, just all those. Emphasize is one of my favorites. I've been using it for years, and I've always mixed it with my under eye setting powder just because it has like these light reflectors in it, and it looks like stunningly beautiful. I went into a MAC store, which I haven't been into a MAC store in forever, but I just happened to be there at the mall one day and it just sucked me in. I was like, let me just go take a look. And the girl totally sold me on this, and I was like, okay. I want to preface that because we're going to go in with a cream highlight, you want to keep it just here. Don't take it out to the cheekbone because then creams on top of powders, it just gets like cakey and mushy. It doesn't look good. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of this. Yes, I still use this. This is the only brightening powder that I like. I've never been able to find another one that I like. They don't sell this anymore, so I buy it on eBay. And it is what it is, and I don't care. This is the Kat Von D. It's the brightening powder in the shade Petal, and I love it so much. I wish they would bring this back, or if you guys can recommend something, it needs to be like severely similar to this. I'm only gonna take a little bit, like just about that much for probably both my eyes, we'll see. And I'm gonna keep it like just right there. If I had like under eye filler or something, I probably wouldn't have to do this, but that's just not my case. So I have to set my concealer. If I don't bake my concealer, it is so crinkly. I mean, I just can't do it. We're gonna go ahead in with bronzer, and this is just, I love this bronzer. It is like honestly chef's kiss. It's the ColourPop. Actually, I don't think it's ColourPop. It's Soul. Well, it's ColourPop brand, but it's called Soul Body. And this is the face and body bronzing balm in the shade medium. It has this cute little thing to keep it from getting dried out. And I love it so much. It's super affordable. I think it's like $10 or $15. I can't remember. Oh, ColourPop always has sales. Like they always have their stuff like 30% off. I'm like, how do you get cheaper than that? And I also bought the brush to go with it. This is the round Kabuki brush. So I just kind of go like this and I get like a good amount in there. You know, I swirl enough because I'm gonna use this for the whole, like my whole face. So I start up here and okay, look, I know it looks scary, but it looks super, super natural when we blend it out. So I do this. And then I'm gonna bring it around here. And I don't go down too low because I don't want my face to look too round because I already have a round face. So just go like that. I'm not certain that it dries down to a powder. I don't know if it has that claim. It feels like it does. And that's why this works for me, I think, because it's a cream. So it gives me the cream look, but it doesn't move, which is what I need because I'm so oily. After I do like the initial blend, I take my sponge and I go around the edges because I feel like the brush does a good job of doing the base blend for me, but I need to soften the edges. You see how it just softens the edges? I have to do this step. It just makes it blend so much better. I'm gonna do a little tiny nose contour. I never used to contour my nose. Like I just didn't find it necessary. I was like, my nose is small. I don't really need to contour. And then my sister was staying with me one day. We were doing our makeup together. And she was like, oh, can I contour your nose? And I was like, sure. She contoured it so to perfection. Like I was just snatched. And ever since then, I contour my nose now. Thank you, sister. But I'm just gonna go in with this middle shade from this palette here. I don't really go too crazy. Just do kind of like a light situation, you know? I don't like to look too overdone these days, you know? I just, you know, I want to look like myself, just a little better. I'm gonna go in with like a tiny bit of powder, just a little. Now I've got to do it on my nose. Okay, I'm an oily girl, as I've said 80 million thousand times in this video. So I have to do this or this part of my nose contour is gonna be down here by the end of the day, and that's just how it is. So I'm gonna take some Maybelline powder. This is the Loose Fit Me powder in Fair Light, and I'm gonna tap off as much excess as possible, but I'm just going to do a little bakage right there, do a little right here, and then a little down the center. And I'm using all from the same dip, so I haven't dipped in again. And then I've got to take just a little up here, just because if I don't, my eyebrows are just gonna slick off. And it's like, these are the things we have to do. You know, when you have oily skin, it's like you wanna use cream products, but you have to make like minor adjustments. I'm gonna take that same brush and that same contour, and I'm just doing like a little something in the crease. I'm gonna do my brows off camera and I'll be right back. Let's start getting rid of this powder, and I'm gonna be kind of gentle. I don't want to get powder where the cream blush and highlight are gonna go, so I'm gonna go in this way. For liquid blush, I'm really obsessed with the Rare Beauty ones. These are my favorite. Oh, excuse me, mirror. These are my favorite at the moment, but I also really like, okay, so I think I tested this in a video and I didn't like it in the video, but I've played with it more and like I love it now. This little, what is this called? I don't know, it's like a little pod thing, but it's also from Rare Beauty, so I'm like, look, I used a lot of it, you can tell. I'm so proud of myself. For today, I'm gonna go in with this because this is like my favorite. And this is in the shade Hope. This is a defining moment. It can either make or break your look, okay? So you take this, it's very pigmented. I just go bloop, bloop, bloop. And I do one cheek at a time because I'm not confident enough to do two at once. So I'm gonna do one. And then the Sephora, this is the Pro Blush Brush. This is the number 96. I don't like swipe, I tap. I like to keep my blush a little bit higher because again, I have a round face and I want it to look slimmer, okay? So I just go like that. I take a little bit right here For liquid highlight, this is the only liquid highlight I own, and it is the only liquid highlight that matters because it's so beautiful. It's the Pillowtalk Beauty Light Wand. I believe they have different shades for different skin tones, but I got the lightest one because I'm pretty fair, and I accidentally squirted out too much last time, so I'm just going to take whatever is left. But I like to do this on my finger. I don't like to dab it because this is very, very pigmented and you don't need a lot. So I'm just taking that much. And I'm going to go here. It's a very lit from within highlight. So I almost like to take this down into my blush. I'll do a little bit up here, and then just whatever is left on my finger, I'll go under my brow bone. I haven't dipped back in yet, just so you guys know, because this is super pigmented. Okay, but do you see how beautiful that is? And I take a teensy, teensy, tiny bit, like that much. I'm not flicking you off, I'm actually flicking me off. Okay, I just take that much, and I go just right there, and that's it. Hell, let's do the lip. Why not? I never do the upper lip, but let's do it. And then take just a little, and I'll go in the center of my eyes. I always like to do this, especially when I don't have a lot of eye makeup on, because it just adds some brightness. I'm going to take a little bit of brow gel. I like the e.l.f. Wow Brow when I do a pencil in my brows, because this just gets out the highlight that fell into my brows, but it also fills in any sparse spaces that I left, because I just kind of pretty much outline my brows and then I kind of brush them out, and that's really how I do them. I don't fill them in too precisely anymore like I used to. So this just does the rest of the work for me pretty much. I'm going to take some Fenty. This is the cream gloss. I love this right now. It's so pretty. See, this is, I love this look because I just feel so fresh. Like I'm just a girl, you know? I'm just a girl. I'm still doing Invisalign, okay? If you're wondering what's on my teeth, I'm almost done. Thank the Lord. That's it. And then since I'm doing creams, I don't want anything to move, so I'm going to take the Tarte. This is the Maracujá Mist. They have a new setting spray I want to try that I saw on TikTok. It's supposed to be waterproof. I'm going to try that when I run out of this. I don't know if you're supposed to shake it. I always do, but that's it. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any cream products that you can recommend below, let me know, because I'm always on the hunt for new products and trying new things. And since now I'm a cream girl, apparently, I'm always on the hunt for like cream products. So yeah, leave me your thoughts below. Make sure you subscribed if you are not subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Leave any video requests, anything you guys want to see below. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye!